One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be free. One day I'm gonna be free. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. One day I'm gonna be free. I'm standing at the crossroads. I'm feeling like a lost soul. Don't know where I wanna go, but all I know is I wanna be free. They're telling me to let it be, but that just ain't in me, no. Jealousy and envy, but all I see is I wanna be free. See everything I wanna be, exactly what I'm gonna be. Don't let it get the most of me. Eventually, I'm gonna be free. See everything I wanna be, exactly what I'm gonna be. Yeah. One day I'm gonna be free. I'm gonna be free. Let me be free. One day I'm gonna be free. Mentally and physically, emotionally and spiritually. Yeah. One day I'm gonna be free. I told them take their aim off me. Stop trying to get a name off me. If they would just let me be, I'm gonna be free. I told them take them chains off me and throw away the locks and keys. If they would just let me be, eventually I'm gonna be free.
They're back.
What up, what up, what up, what up, though? What up, though? 7 days and went by, and we back again for another episode of The Dominant Effect. I'm Archbishop, got Mike Ball, and we got Aaron Olinger. This week we got a pretty interesting show. Pretty sure people are going to have several comments about the stuff that's going to be said tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Also some information that's going to be put out that hasn't actually been put out in the media yet. But I just happened to just get my hands on it, so I'm gonna put that out too. But before we go there, just like always, we're gonna see how everybody did their week. So Aaron, we're gonna hit you first. What's up, brother? How was your week?
Oh, had a great weekend. Good gun show up in Hamilton. So me and my daughter worked together. I always enjoy working with her, and great sales. So as long as I can pay the bills, I'm happy. So I stopped there.
Well, that's good. That's awesome. Did you sell a lot over there? I hope you did.
Yeah.
Good to hear, man. For me, it was not that exciting. I blew myself up Saturday night on accident. Blew myself up with a firework.
Yeah, I seen that video. So what happened with that?
Yeah, I totally did a messed up move. It was my fault. It was 100% my fault, and it was just one of those situations where I wasn't paying enough attention. And so I'll just quickly explain myself. So I was in a 1v1 little Roman candle, you know, fight. Don't do that. And so, anyways, I was getting actively shot at. I'm in warfare. And as I went to go light one of the Roman candles, unfortunately, the wick was like kind of stuck inside the packaging under the film or whatever. So I'm actively getting shot at, and I'm like digging in to get the dang wick out. I pull the wick out, and I light it as I'm like getting shot at. I'm lighting it barely, and then I turned it around and pointed the dang thing the wrong way. Like I'm shooting it like it's a damn cannon.
So you
Like
bust yourself in the mouth.
dude, totally busted myself in the mouth. So what's funny about it is these things are like 12 gauge shotgun shells coming out. These are not the normal little pew pew things. I mean, you shoot it, it's like a 12 gauge shotgun shell that comes flying out, and then it explodes again into another firework. So it came off, bounced off of my fucking tooth and my lip, and bounced into the air and blew up.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what happened. Don't you shoot your mouth out.
Wow. That's
Yep.
crazy.
So I got stitches and
You got that on video?
Right.
I'm gonna check that out.
shit.
How many stitches you end up getting?
4.
Damn.
Yeah, I busted my whole lip wide open, and then it blew out my tooth too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You blew your tooth out?
Oh yeah.
Oh damn.
Yep. So I got to go get that fixed. I got to get this healed first because, I was originally like, at first I was like, oh, on Monday, I'll just go get that fucking thing, patched in. And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait, hold on. I've got this cut that I just have healed up. For me to like open my mouth and like spread apart, I'm like, nah, I got to let the lip freaking heal up first. So yeah, redneck shit.
Wow. Wow. You got to be more careful, bro.
Yeah, it was just one of those points that I should have been paying more attention, and I didn't, and it was my fault. Accidents happen.
Right. Well, let's see. My week has been it's been a little busy. Somebody had just asked a question on it about when Rotten Dirty is going to be released. To tell you the truth, I do not know. I just know it's going to be here soon. From my understanding, that production companies in the process of doing a distribution deal to where all of those, every film that they do is going to automatically hit every mainstream
outlet
stream platform that there is. So it'll
Nice.
be on Hulu. It'll be on Hulu. It'll be on Netflix. It'll be on Tubi. It'll be on Prime. It'll be on just about all of them. So
that's what I'm talking about.
I think they're waiting on that. Standing on business, that one is complete. I should have some information here the next couple of weeks as to when they're going to do the red carpet on that. It's a couple more. On the 23rd, I'll start on a new one called R&B. It's a short film that I'll be doing on there. I'm playing it's his husband-wife duo, but I play a guy with I got early stages of dementia. And
oh man, that's gonna be good.
Yeah, and how it's like she uses R&B songs to into reality. This pretty good script. That's supposed to start on the 23rd. In March, 7 Suspects starts, and then I just got a thing today about another one that's going to be hitting later on. I mean, probably in the summer. So things are going good on that end. On this end, we finally got the Diamond Effect monetized. So
Yes, sir.
it's been a long time waiting, going back and forth with YouTube, because they really didn't like us from the beginning. But um, they say sun shine on a dog's ass sometimes, so it shined on me this time, and they gave it to me. So
Nice.
we got,
Nice.
so we got it monetized now. So we're gonna be able to push out a lot more content, and with your guys' help, we can be able to keep this second season popping like it's supposed to.
Mhm.
I don't know a whole lot about the monetization thing. That's more your thing, Mike.
Hmm.
But if you would you just kind of give just a brief description as to what they could do?
Yeah, yeah. So as far as I know, it sounds like that you did set up your membership. So you do have a membership program over there as well. And I'm sure we'll figure out a way to have like the membership program maybe work towards maybe with the website as well. We can maybe try to figure out something there.
Yeah, that's
Which
in the
would
works.
be that would be kind of really cool. But the big thing as well is the truth is page advertising is not where you don't really rely on that. A YouTuber really doesn't do that. That is a live streamer of any sort. And so we've got super chats now. You've got super chats. So on the Diamond Effect side, guys, go ahead and see that little dollar sign on the bottom right. Click that thing. Try it out. Let's see. Be the very first super chat. Try it out. Yes, sir.
Oh, so that's how you do it. You just hit the little dollar sign on there and put it in. Is that how it goes?
Yep. And then there's like a slide bar of like how much money you want to send, and then you can put a comment. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So so for the past couple weeks, or the past 18 days, it's kind of been a uproar of different things going on. I mean, some people liking a lot of stuff that's going on. A lot of them don't.
Sure.
In lesser words, don't like what's going on. And it's one of the things that I've noticed that they don't like is and I've kind of seen it on both sides actually, is the presence of Elon Musk in the White House, and with this whole DOGE, which is the Department of Government Efficiency thing. Now, I've talked to several people throughout, and they a lot of people came to me and was like, appreciate it, Waylon. Waylon with the first man, he was the first one with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. A lot of them had various opinions about it. Some thought it was a good thing because it was able to, as they say, drain the swamp, which they've been using that term for years and years, and that's never happened. Some say that they don't approve of it because of the fact that he's not a actual quote elected official, and being able to have the leeway that he's having makes people unnerved.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna jump into a little bit of all of it, and then I'm gonna bring up something else that I found out just yesterday that I 100% definitely don't approve of, but I'm gonna bring it up. But we're gonna start it out with this quick little video, just kind of give a little quick rundown, and then we're gonna get the show running.
Just hours ago, a federal judge blocked Elon Musk's DOGE team from accessing Treasury Department data that includes the Social Security and bank account numbers for millions of Americans. But in a different case, a different federal judge is letting Musk's team maintain access to other sensitive information from the Labor Department. That could include Americans' medical and financial records. This is from New York Judge Paul Engelmeyer in a statement. The court's firm assessment is that for the reasons stated by the states, they will face irreparable harm in the absence of injunctive relief. That is both because of the risk that the new policy presents of the disclosure of sensitive and confidential information and the heightened risk that the systems in question will be more vulnerable than before to hacking. This question of sensitive information to me seems to be a thread, whether you're talking about FBI agents who are worried about having their names released, whether you're talking about the Treasury Department and all of our potentially sensitive information. once it is out there, there's no putting that genie back in the bottle.
Yeah, that is why you're seeing courts here in New York, courts in DC taking this action, because it's one of these things where it's like, look, we have to do it now because, you know, there is no remedy afterwards. It's really important to remember that this is an administration that has clearly shown that making something public to put a target on someone's back, they have already done that.
Okay, so I know Aaron always got something to say first on here, so I'm gonna ask him. What's your thought on that?
I watched the video when you sent it to me yesterday. I'm gonna tell you, man, all things done in darkness eventually come to light. The left right now is scrambling to put out disinformation. They're going to convince people that they're going to cause fear. They're going to distract. They're going to deflect from themselves. They don't want to get caught with their hands in the cookie jar. So they're going to sit back and say, you're not going to get your Social Security check. You're not going to get your Medicare check. They're going to try to start a bunch of crap. But that's not the case. But I'm going to stop there. Well, like I said, all things done in darkness eventually come to light, and it's about to come to light.
Yeah, I have to agree with that, Aaron. I have to kind of go with that sentiment here. It's not like Elon Musk came out of nowhere here and was thrown on to this DOGE thing. I mean, he actually ran on this. Donald Trump ran on this, and it was very transparent from the very beginning. This dude's going to come in, and he's going to come in and find and cut off all the BS that American tax, U.S. dollars are going to. The truth is I'm sure that people were all for it up until they realized, oh shit, they're going to dig into me now, and now that they're digging into me, they're going to see that there's all these other things that are behind it. And that is an issue.
Okay. Now to Aaron's thing, that goes on. That goes on both sides. So
sure.
Every time, when the Democrats in the same seat, they do the same thing. Okay. They're going back fixing some stuff that the Republicans did and vice versa. Now this trimming of the fat that's going on. All of them is guilty of that, including Mr. Trump, because he was the president before. So a lot of this shit that's going on is, some of it came on him too. So he ain't completely out the dark when it comes to this. Okay. Now with the group that Elon has, DOGE. Now here's my reservations about it. Now I know all the time that they get different organizations to go in and take care of stuff that's supposedly not supposed to have anything to do with nothing. It's supposed to be completely biased and go through and look through all this stuff. Now on this end, you can't really say that that he's biased about this, even though he said that, if we came up on any of his government contracts, whatever, he would step aside, which I think is bullshit. Being the fact that if you're getting that much damn money, ain't no way in hell that you're gonna let them take your bread. You're just not gonna do that. I just don't. I don't believe that. The second thing is the people that he has employed doing this are 19 to 24 years old, basically kids that no, they don't work for the government, but we really don't know who they are either. And my thing is with that being the fact that you're going to be around and have access to what they're saying that they have access to, which is people's Social Security numbers, bank account information, direct deposit, you have in your VA records, all of that stuff. This could boil down and be like another Snowden deal where somebody turn around and take all this information and give it away. That's my reservation about it. Because
no, I get that.
I want to know the height of security that's dealing with these people and what they're doing.
Now, I got a question on this. Okay, so I would rather that in this case, I look at the way it was compared to the way it is now. Now, there was a quote unquote kind of like a DOGE ordeal that there was previous to Doge. Okay. And it was some unelected bureaucrat, right? I would rather have Elon Musk be some unelected bureaucrat that you couldn't even name. You couldn't even name that guy because you don't know. At least with Elon Musk, we can hold the dude accountable. I mean, he is the number one traded, richest man in the world. So on the actual trading market, and I really don't see how this is an issue for the American people. I look at it as a win. Like, we're coming in and finding bogus things that are going out that are your money going out to BS things that are not even here on this land. Like, that to me, that's fraudulent.
Okay. Now, with these programs that they're talking about, which I know that they can't actually do away with these programs like they said they were. Like they said they're gonna do away with USAID. I know that can't happen. The Department of Education, all these different programs that they said that they were just gonna do away with. That by right they can't actually do that. That's a full Congress issue. They can't touch that. So when they were saying that like, yeah, we're gonna wipe this out, just like they was talking about, they were sending out the emails to people telling them that, not to report to work. Well, when you go through that, then you got to ask yourself a question. Okay, like, who actually sent those emails? And now if he sent those emails, that's a whole problem because he's not allowed to do that. But it's a lot of stuff dealing with this stuff. Now, even if you trying to shut down these programs to basically get this extra money back and whatnot, everybody, one point or another, is going to suffer for it. So, like, I'll give you an example. Now, people used to talk about years and years ago about SNAP, food stamps. Everybody talked about them for years. Talked about how, some people talked about it because they seen people that was getting, $1,200, $1,300 a month, and somebody that had a $9 an hour job couldn't get food stamps.
Right.
Then you talked about the ones when they just a single person would only get like $200. Now, I do believe that they need to go through and trim in that department. Reason being, because a lot of those people picked up those benefits due to COVID, and they never went back through and actually, like, okay, COVID's over now. You don't need this. They just kept giving it out. Now, going through on that level, and because quite frankly, some people need to just go get a job. I've always said that. But if you cutting the program the way they were talking about cutting that program, what about the people that actually needs it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know whether you actually thought about it, but I got some information about that. And, once you started adding it up, it really, to tell you the truth, a lot of these people that's actually getting this assistance, once you see how much it actually is, it really ain't much to it. Because, I know Aaron knows, but let me ask you, Mike, how much per day do you think they give on SNAP assistance? But let's just say one person.
I don't know what it boils down to. No, I don't know.
Yeah, just make a guess. Just make a guess.
Per day?
Per day.
$15.
Okay. So years. Each individual person gets $6 a day.
Okay.
Now, think about it. If I give you $6 and I tell you, okay,
Go eat.
You're gonna have to live today. You're gonna have to eat today for this $6. How many people gonna be able to do that?
Damn near no one.
Damn near no one, unless they go and buy some ramen noodles or some old stupid stuff
Totally.
like that to eat. Other than that, it's very hard to eat on $6 a day. but that has been the standard for almost 8 years.
Mm.
It's been $6 a day. So, of course, when you see some, some people that may have, 5, 6, 7 kids and they getting, $1,300, $1,400, and you're like, oh, man, they eating good. Well, yeah, they are eating good, but they're only getting $6 a day. It just adds up because you got so many people.
Totally.
You know what I mean? And the way inflation is now and everything going higher, it costs even more. You know what I mean? So what if you wipe that completely out? And these
Yeah, you can't do
people
that.
that these people that actually do need it can't get it. What happens?
Then what happens? That's an interesting one. The truth is, I don't think that would be right to do in general. Shutting down, let's say, Social Security of any type, food assistance, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's good to audit and be able to see where maybe funds are being misappropriated, but you can't shut down like food stamps. I mean, you got a lot of people that rely on that. So I don't know. I don't know what would happen if, I mean, at that point, what we go to the street and sell crack. I mean, what we got to do to make shit happen?
We'll see. That's the thing. Now, when they first started doing this, of course they said it's going to be everybody going to go through some hard times. They said that, and they said that way ahead of time. They said that before the election was over with, that if they did what they wanted to do, everybody was going to have some hard times for a while. They knew that before you went out and voted. You knew that, so ain't no excuse with that. And like I said, it's been a lot of misuse of funds that was going on. You know what I mean? Just like we was talking about earlier, we're talking about the USAID, and they were talking about all this money that was spent. But
Sure.
Then when you go back and look at it, like, yes, it was some money that was spent on some fraudulent stuff. And no, they did not spend $50 million on condoms. That is a lie. That did not take place. But the money that they did spend on things that people would feel like, I don't know why they spent that money, is only 1/4 of 1% of their budget. Now, that particular fund, like I said, it's been out since Kennedy, but Clinton modified it and made it more of a private entity because he didn't want it to be politicized. He didn't want actual political heads actually running it, even though it is a congressional program that Congress voted in, but kept it to where it was more, non-political. You know what I mean? So was there some stuff that was actually used that you would kind of question where that money went? Absolutely. I mean, it like I said, the Sesame Street thing and a couple other things that we've seen on there that you wonder, like, okay, why would you spend this money for that?
Sure.
But if you think you got $100 million budget, and what you spent was 1/4 of 1%, you like, is that really something to complain about? Based on the fact that all these for years has been misappropriating and allocating funds to other things that they know that they shouldn't be allocating for. Am I right by that? Can I say that for everybody that's involved? Everybody done that? I mean, they haven't done that? Well, you think
I'm
they've been
saying people have done it, but it doesn't make it right.
No.
I
I
won't agree.
didn't say it was right. I never said it was
Okay.
right. Never said it was right. What I'm saying is that it's been done, and it's been done on both sides. Now we talking about it more. It's more in your face now than it was, because wasn't nobody talking about it then. But they've been taking money, adding on the back of these bills and everything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Now it comes up, you know what I mean? This money been spent on this and spent on this and spent on this. So you can't turn a blind eye to it because now it's right in your face, but it's been going on, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yes, it has.
Now, you was talking about the Social Security. So what did you get off of that? I mean, 'cause I know you said there was a lot of stuff that was done on there.
But someone asked the question: has DOGE found any sort of misappropriations? Well, just recently, 59 million FEMA paid for luxury hotels and motels in New York City that house the migrants, but yet the people who FEMA was supposed to cover in North Carolina and Florida because of the hurricanes, they didn't get nothing. So those FEMA workers that was involved in that, they got fired. They should have been. They should have been. But going back to Social Security, I'm going to say this. I attended a meeting some years ago. When my mom was still alive, I took her to the meeting, and it was being held by Social Security. They wanted them to give back 40% of their check so they can make Social Security last a little bit longer. This was prior to Trump going into office. And everybody in the room said, no, have the American government pay back the money they took from Social Security to fund Desert Storm 1 that they defaulted on. But when Trump went into office in his first 6 months, he allocated certain funds to Social Security to try to save it. Now, as of this week, I looked into it. Social Security has 8 to 12 years left of solvency. That's what the audit has found. Elon Musk and them is looking at it. Now, from what is being said, and this happened 3 days ago, it was just learned that Social Security database is not deduplicated, meaning you can have the same Social Security number many times over, which further enables the fraud. Our tax dollars are being literally stolen, and right now DOGE and the U.S. Treasury are working jointly together to try to solve that problem. And I'm going to give you an example how bad this problem is. 1.4 billion in COVID stimulus checks were made to dead people. 2.9 trillion, which is higher than the United States government defense budget, and we're talking trillion, was made of improper payments to dead people since 2004. Now, keep in mind that in April of 2015, Social Security, a report came out on Social Security that said 6.5 million Americans are over the age of 112, and they're still active today, which means that in 2015, they claimed 6.5 million Americans were over the age of 112 and was filing taxes, getting tax returns, and getting Social Security benefits in many different forms, and they're still alive today. But when you check it, you'll find out that only 40 people in the whole wide world is above 112. They've known since 2015 till now, and actually it's 2004, but let's just go with the report of 2015. They've known for 10 years that billions was being paid out to people that no longer existed. That's the reason why they want to know your Social Security number. That's the reason why they want to know if you're a veteran or whatever. They want to know, and they want to track the money. We're getting ready to do something called forensic accounting. These kids that you're talking about aren't rank amateurs. They're the best in their field that they hired. They're going to do forensic accounting, which if anyone saw the movie The Accountant with Ben Affleck in it, that's a forensic accountant. He's going to find everything down to the last penny and where it went. Somebody's cashing these checks. Somebody is getting this money. We're talking trillions of dollars here. Now, if Social Security has only got so many years left before it's going to go out, I'm against that. I want to see my daughter be able to draw Social Security. The problem right now is the baby boomers outnumber the number of people that's out there paying into the system right now. That's the reason why there's only 8 to 12 years of solvency left.
Right.
But if you've got 6.5 million people that are dead, that are receiving benefits, if you could recover just that money alone, how much more time, or would that make Social Security be solvent in itself? I mean, I found this interesting. The Department of Treasury has a do not pay list of people that they tell don't pay checks to. The Social Security has a death list of people that are not supposed to get paid to because of the current laws that are in effect. they do not share those lists with each other or other agencies. So these checks are still going out or being automatically deposited into accounts with no oversight. Are these people even still alive? And if they're not, who's getting the money? That's fraud in itself. Right now, they came out with an act. Senator Kennedy and some other senators signed on this 2020. It was called Stopping Improper Payments to Deceased People's Act. I mean, you had to actually come out with an act to do that. And it was trying to force the Treasury to sell the death list with other agencies. There was congressmen who opposed it, which makes me wonder, were you in on the take? Is that the reason why you would oppose something that common sense? Now, and to pass the act, they had to do a trial period for a period of 3 years, which it has expired. So the crap is even worse than it was before. Now they got a new bill out that's out on the floor, and it's called Ending Improper Payments to Deceased People's Act. Again, ridiculous to me. You shouldn't have to do that. But you got so much opposition to them not paying dead people that they're trying to get it through. The question right now is, how much do you pay Social Security for sharing the dead people's list? Why would you have to pay Social Security to share a list with other agencies? Again, that's crazy. I mean, who's cashing the checks is the big question. Who's getting that money? And then I hope we can all agree that dead people voting in the election is one thing, but dead people getting checks and cashing them, we're talking altogether different things. And because our nation is damn near broke, we're getting ready to head into a financial collapse. We done fell over the edge. We're borrowing money just to pay the interest rate on the debt. We got to cut as much as we can. We got to find all these criminals and bring them to light and get rid of them out of the government, because these people are supposed to be what they call good stewards. The Social Security Administration, people is paid into this their entire life. They're supposed to be good stewards of that money and have it available for you for when you go out. Right now, we're looking at the possibility of Social Security being a thing of the past. They're putting that mental note in our minds to prepare us for it. But if you get rid of this fraud, 1.5 billion in COVID checks, 2.9 trillion in improper payments to the dead, 6.5 million to people that are 112 years old when there's only 40 in the whole world that's that old. You're talking billions and trillions of dollars, and it's coming out of American taxpayers' pocket. So if DOGE, which is an independent team of people that's been put together, they have no political affiliations, they owe no political parties any favors, they're not going to be bribed. If they can find where these criminals are, bring them to light and send their asses to jail. I mean, just like, what was it, yesterday or today? You had 3 women with the United States Postal Service that stole $20 million in checks, sentenced. One of them's got 5 years, the other 2 got 4.5. And in retribution, they only have to pay $112,000 back of the $20 million. Where does that make sense at? I mean, throw their asses under the jail. Those checks were supposed to go to people that needed the money, like you said, Bishop. There's people out there that needs this money, and they're not going to get it, or they won't get as much as they could get, because you got these damn leeches that are feeding off of everything, and they found easy ways to get that low-hanging fruit that's hanging out there, and it's easy money to get. You just join the right agency and get in there and figure ways around the system. Now you can cash in. And I'm sure there's other people, that employees around them, they was bragging to you, I'm getting all this free money. And then you better jump in on this too, bud, and get some of this free money too. I mean, I can keep going here. I mean, right now, Elon Musk said the goal of the auditing the Social Security system is to stay the extreme levels of fraud taking place, so it will remain solvent and protect the Social Security checks of honest Americans. Now, when the head of Social Security was fronted with this issue, And they said, what are you going to do about those 6.5 million uh, people that are dead that you're paying all this money to? His answer was, they're aware that they have a problem, but it will be timely and costly to update 6.5 million files. I'm getting sick and tired of people telling me it's going to cost too much money to go back and fix it. That is your job. You've had since 2015 till now, 10 years, that you could have done a little bit each year. You know you got a problem, but man, that's going to be timely and it's going to cost money. Well, you know what? I would say you're fired. You don't want to do your job. You are supposed to be the good steward of the Americans' people's money, and you're failing to do it. And you're letting criminals come in and take what they want. So guess what? I hope they fire his ass. But I'm going to stop there because I get mad every time I think of how much money we're losing and how much more that I can even get, because I'm on Social Security. Because you got these slicksters out here doing this stuff, and then you got the politicians running interference, trying to prevent them from stopping it. My God, this is insanity. But I stopped there.
Well, you know, the thing with Social Security, and it's one thing that they've been talking about for years. I remember when I was younger, they said by the time you get to the age to where you be able to claim Social Security, it's not going to be here anyway. And one of the reasons why it won't be here during that time, I mean, on top of the fact of, you know, the population, but the biggest thing is that Social Security isn't backed under anything. It's not invested in anything. It's whatever I made this week, and you take out my check, it goes right back out to somebody else. You know what I mean?
It's supposed
So
to be
you would
backed by
think,
you. It's
right,
supposed to
right.
be.
So you would think that you got all these quote quote brilliant minds up there that deals with finance, that they would think about a way that you could put Social Security into a fund to where you be able to pick up something off the back end of that, to be able to keep that program going, and not just, you know, whatever I made this week that you took out of my check is going to somebody else that got Social Security at the end of the month. That never made sense to me. Like, you don't have, it's supposed to be such an important thing, but it's not backed up under anything. So you know that it's going to go to shit eventually anyway, because it's not backed up under anything. Now, one of the things that you said earlier, you said that you agree with DOGE doing that because they're not a politically affiliated, now, which ain't true, because you know that man paid $300 million to get up in that bitch, and he got federal contracts that he getting money from. So you can't actually say that he don't have he don't got no sauce in the tank there. Now, if they was gonna make that on the up and up, they could have put somebody else that we, just like Mike said earlier, that we don't even know who the fuck it is, and had them to do that. You know what I mean? But that right there puts a lot of speculation out to people, when you know for a fact that this man done put this much money into that campaign. He's running around the whole time, and then now all of a sudden he's sitting here doing this. So that does make people look at a side eye, like, hold on, man. And you know damn well now, yeah, he is gonna cut some shit. You know what I mean? But is he gonna actually do the right thing on everything across the board, including himself?
Sure.
I don't think that's.
Sure. No, that's a valid question. I understand where you're coming from on that. And I would say that you're absolutely 100% right. If Trump was not transparent and did not run on that whole ordeal saying Elon is going to do this, then I would say, yeah, that would be out of control. But because he was so transparent about it while he was campaigning, I don't see, because I mean, obviously 77 million people was down for it. You know what I mean?
You know,
I mean,
think
the
a lot.
guy is a brain. I mean, he's smart. If anyone's going to find waste, and then he's so damn rich, people trying to say he's going to take the money. He's not going to take nothing. That little bit of money don't mean nothing to him. I mean, come on. I mean, right now with Elon Musk, 32,000 for transgender comic book in Peru. This
Right.
is under USA. 7.9 million to teach Sri Lankan journalists how to avoid binary gendered language. You're going to pay $7.9 million to teach people how to use pronouns. 20 million for new Sesame Street show in Iraq. Really? That money went in somebody's pocket. There's no damn way that $20 million it costs to make a Sesame Street one 30-minute or hour show. 4.5 million to combat disinformation in Tajikistan. 1.5 million for art for inclusion of people with disabilities. 2 million for sex change operations in Guatemala. 6 million to transform digital spaces to reflect feminist democratic principles. 2.1 million to help the BBC, that's the British broadcasting system there, value the diversity of the Libyan society. That might be the title you put on it, but that money went somewhere else. 10 million worth of USAID funded meals, which went to Al Qaeda terrorist group. Well, it's came out that we're paying off Al Qaeda. There's no doubt. 25 million for DODG to promote green transportation in the country of Georgia. That's a damn Russian republic. 53 million for the people of Gaza. Now, I know you said that wasn't true, but it is true that we pay for free condoms for the Africans. That part I do know is true. 6 million for tourism in Egypt. Why the hell, through USAID, are we paying for $6 million of tourism in Egypt? 2.5 million to promote inclusion in Vietnam. Is that part of the retribution we're paying for having committed war there? They never gave back the damn prisoners, so why are we paying them? And then they turn around and pay 6.8 million for a separate inclusion group in Vietnam. This is insanity, people. We're faced with, and that don't count what we give NATO. That don't count what we give the UN. That don't count what we give to 175 of 188 nations around the world in economic aid. We wouldn't be faced with an economic collapse if we wasn't giving away all this free money, because we see the American taxpayers being a damn ATM machine. I mean, when we went into that recession in 2009 to 2011, Obama just went into office. The economy almost collapsed under Bush. The banking system around the world, as well as the billionaires, were all heavily invested in the derivative system. Derivatives, which is like a market, like the stock market. It took big losses. Europe threatened the United States, told Obama, you better do something about this. Warren Buffett came forward and said, oh, I got a great idea. Let's let the American taxpayer pay for it. And that's what they did. They raised taxes on all of us that even my grandchildren are going to be paying on to pay for this. It's like going into Las Vegas. You lose all your money, but then you say, let the American taxpayer for it, give me my money back. So they gave the billionaires their money back because they were too big to fail. The banking system around the world in the United States was too big to fail. And we took it on the nose. We end up with the bloody nose. And has the insanity stopped? No, it's actually gotten worse. Now we're faced with economic collapse. Now we have to pay the bills, or we're going to go bankrupt and be dealing with hyperinflation over here. So now we have a president that realized we can't kick the bills down the hill no more. We got to start paying some of these bills. We got to start cutting this stuff. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. They need to stop this.
Why wasn't?
And
Why
I don't
wasn't
care. Go ahead, Bishop. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Why wasn't it looked at the first go round?
Because
when he was in office the first go round. And now let me say this: now, we talk about the spending. And like I said, the spending been done from all of them. All of them been getting that thing on there. You know what I mean? Now you remember when he was in office the first time. Now we looking at this stuff and we calling out these numbers and stuff because that's what they doing. But you remember the first administration, the first term, you know what I mean, when he ran out the Secret Service funding for the whole year, he did in 3 months, bouncing around, going to golf courses and shit, and giving security to everybody in his fucking family that he wasn't supposed to. When he buying gold toilet seats for the White House and shit. Now we can say this because it happened. Now we can throw numbers out all day, but the fact remains, You can't just sit there and say, oh, well, this stuff, like all this shit just going on right now, because it ain't just going on right now. This shit been going on. It's been going on for a long ass time. You know what I mean? Now it's like, okay, now because I'm bringing this to light, then I'm gonna hide my hand. Bullshit. Because all this shit that's going on right now could have been done back then, but it wasn't. It was a shitload of money.
And the reason why it wasn't, yeah, the reason why it wasn't is no president wants their administration to look bad. From 93 up till now, they've been all running deficits. The two worst was Bush and Obama. Bush ran up $5 or $6 trillion. Obama ran up 12 because he's trying to bail our economy out of the system. They spent money that we didn't have, and all that money got added to the national debt. Them two alone accounts for between 17 to 18 trillion dollars of the 36 trillion that we're at. Just those two alone. And then every other president didn't want to look back, so they kept kicking that can down the hill a little bit further. We're going to kick it on to the next administration. Now the can has been kicked as far as it can go. We're borrowing money to pay the interest on the national debt. That is crazy. And we're giving all this money away to all these countries. We're running the presses, which is making our money worthless. I mean, gold went to what? $2,950 an ounce. Silver's up around $32 to $33 an ounce. Every time gold and silver goes up, the US dollar goes down in value. Back when gold was $2,500 an ounce, our money was worth 76 cents. The US dollar was. Now they're talking about it's going to hit 3,000 in the next 2 weeks, and they're predicting it can go to 4,000 or 5,000. If it goes to 4,000 or 5,000, the US dollar will be worth probably what, 25, 30 cents? That would cause such inflation that now it's going to take more dollars to buy the products that you're currently buying now. Americans, 7% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. We can't afford higher taxes right now. So we can't kick that can further down the hill. All we can do is tighten our belts and pay these damn bills and cut these criminals out. But I'll stop there.
Real quick, before we get into any further, I want to quickly halt the show. Real quick, make sure you guys hit that like button. It's the #1 metric of all of YouTube. Helps out the show immensely, and it's free, by the way, everybody. Real quick, we're going to go ahead and play you guys just a quick little 30-second commercial of the website, man. Go and check it out.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir. She.
I got a thing I'm gonna read that came out. It actually came out yesterday. And we're talking about these programs that's getting overhauled, cut, whatever. But this is one that came from. This was something that was written by Senator August King. He's a member of the Senate Veterinary Affairs Committee. Joining his colleagues in demanding that the Veteran Affairs Secretary protect veterans' personal information. In a letter to the VA Secretary Doug Collins, the senators urged him to take immediate action to secure veterans' personal information provided by the VA and other agencies to Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency. To call to protect his data follows must take over the U.S. Treasury's payment system, which included private information of veterans and their families and reports of DOGE employees accessing VA computer systems at the department headquarters in Washington, D.C. There are millions of veterans medical records stored in VA computer systems. These confidential records includes veteran prescriptions, diagnosis, and procedures they have undergone. Access to these medical records could give Musk and DOGE the ability to identify veterans who have received counseling and or abortions in the past. The Million Veteran Program, which manages the genomic data of its more than 1 million veteran participants for authorized research programs, also stores its data in VA data systems. In addition to the U.S. Treasury payment system stores private information of veterans, surviving spouses, and their families, including their monthly disability compensation amounts, home address, and bank account numbers. The senators write, amongst many tasks, the Secretary of the Department of Veteran Affairs is entrusted with safeguarding the private and sensitive information of millions of veterans. Veterans risk their lives to defend our country, and they deserve better than to have a unelected billionaire reviewing their medical records, targeting the benefits they have earned, or using their private information for personal gain. Meanwhile, the president has given unfettered access to federal databases and systems to Mr. Musk, an unelected citizen, a team of colleagues with no formal documented employment agreement with the U.S. government. It is a group of private citizens with no experience in the federal government who lack proper approval from legal and agency authorities, lack of appropriate security clearances, and lack the requisite background investigations or ethical conflict requirements. The senators concluded during your confirmation process, you claimed that you would be focused on rooting out corruption and ensuring accountability at VA and committed the following the laws passed by Congress. We now call on you to respond quickly and comprehensively to these private violations by revoking DOGE access to VA systems and insisting they permanently remove all VA data collecting it from their files. What do you think?
You asking me, or are you asking Mike?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Aaron.
Okay. Again, as I said before, you got 6.5 million people. Some of them are supposedly veterans. Some of them aren't. They're claiming Social Security payments. They're getting income tax returns. They're getting Medicaid, Medicare payments. We have to verify these people are alive. Somebody said it's a violation of HIPAA. No, if the fraud wasn't so bad, if this is bigger than any fraudulent, or you could take all the frauds that have ever been committed in the United States, and it doesn't add up to the amount of money that this comes to, and it don't even come close. That's how bad it is. And it isn't a violation of HIPAA if I'm trying to find out, are you real? Are you alive? And if you're not alive and I find out you're not alive, then who's getting the payments? Is somebody over at Medicare, Medicaid filing fake payments? Like those postal workers got paid $20 million over stealing checks and filing fake claims. I mean, this is going on, and it's got to come to a stop. I'm tired of paying to make somebody else rich like that.
Well, figuring out whether somebody.
This comes to.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying this whole thing. I'm glad is coming to an end. I know people in my area that committed welfare fraud. Had 3 women and a guy, and the guy was the leader, and they had a bunch of dead people's Social Security numbers. And for 7 or 8 years, they got away with it. Then they finally got caught because he fired one of the girls and she ratted on him and turned state's evidence. So they all went to jail. He's out. He had a bunch of money he put back that he came out to. To me, that didn't make any sense that they stole millions and only had to give back a couple $100,000 and been doing it for a period of time. I know women in my area that sell food stamps. I realize that they may only get $6 a day benefit, but that goes toward helping to pay their rent and stuff. They still get a substantial amount for their food stamps. And man, every last one of them that I know sells food stamps. There's a lot of fraud that's going on, and I'm glad it's going to come to a stop.
Well, it may be, but being okay now, having access to someone's personal records or medical records without their consent is a violation of HIPAA. I don't give a damn
Now,
what you
I
say.
have to know if you're alive or not. We got
No,
65,
yeah, that don't
6.5
have anything to
million.
do with you being alive or not, whether you go into my
6.5
medical
million.
record. You can't do that, sir. You cannot do that. You cannot go into my personal medical records for anything without my permission. There is several ways that you can figure out whether someone's alive or dead or not without going through their personal
If you're filing
their personal
for
medical record.
medical benefits, you're filing for medical benefits,
I'm not
and
talking
there's
about
fraud
medical
going
benefits.
on.
That's not what I'm talking about.
That's how you catch them. Well,
No,
that's what I'm talking about. I have to
no,
know that
you're
you're
missing what I'm
these
talking
payments
about
and
here.
who's going to.
You're missing what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking
Okay.
about is what they were talking about on here. They were accessing regular people's information,
Right.
getting their social security numbers, bank account
Right.
numbers, direct deposit numbers, and then they going through the VA, going through people's personal medical records. Now, if you want to figure out someone's alive or dead, you can do that without going through medical records. Once you go through, if you go to the doctor and you transferring from one doctor to another, you have to sign a paper giving them permission for someone else to look at your records. You cannot just pull my records up without my permission to do so. You can't do that.
Okay.
That's against HIPAA. Now, when we
Okay.
was talking about the Social Security, hold on a minute. When we was talking about the Social Security and we talking about the benefits for the VA. Now, you do realize that some of these people could be dead. Some of these people also get death benefits. Their spouses get death benefits, which they use
Sure.
the dead person's
No
Social
problem.
Security number. So some of that could be involved in that. I'm not saying all of it, but some of it can be put on the fact that some of these people that's dead also have spouses that's collecting the dead person's benefit, which they have to use the dead person's Social Security number. That's not saying
Right.
that covers all of them. I'm just saying
No.
this is
It
within
wouldn't cover none of them.
right.
That doesn't cover
Gonna
any
cover
of these people here. Because
right. Well, I'm not
6.5
saying it's gonna
million.
cover. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's gonna cover 50,000 people, but I'm saying out of that 50,000 people, you're gonna have some in there that's claiming benefits on their dead spouse that they have to
Okay.
use those numbers
And,
for.
and I do understand what you're saying. I agree with that. But based upon the report that was done in April of 2015, 6.5 million, and these were people already above 112, and they're still alive now. None of these people are alive. None of them. And none of their spouses or whatever would be alive. But they're still paying them, and they got to put out a special act just to try to stop paying people that are already dead. And if these same people are filing Medicare and Medicaid claims, then there's fraud going on in Medicare and Medicaid. We need to locate who's doing it and call their asses out. Because like I told you the other day, in any field you go into, 20% of the people aren't worth a damn. You go to your job, 20% of the people on your job ain't worth a damn. 20% of the doctors ain't worth a damn. 20% of the police officers aren't worth a damn. And some of those people ain't worth a damn are looking to scam and scheme and do whatever. If there's people in Medicare and Medicaid that's stealing money and they've been caught before, they need to be caught now.
See, but that goes right back to what I was saying before when we was talking about the SNAP benefits. You do have shit that's going on. Nobody's saying
Yeah.
that it's not. You do have
Right.
stuff there, but you also
Okay.
have this going on for over here. So then eventually what happens? These people over here get hit when they actually doing the right thing because this over here that's going on over here. So then you eventually wipe it all out. Now, another part of this that I was reading, because there was a whole meeting that they had yesterday dealing with this. And one of the other things that they were talking about dealing with VA benefits is that they were going through your records to see whether or not you deserved your benefit. It was what they said their reasoning was for wanting to have your personal records. Second thing that they were doing was that, let's say you had someone who did 20 years and retired. So you had your retirement pay and you had your disability pay. They're trying to set it up to where you had to pick one or the other. Whether you're going to keep your retirement pay and you pay for your own medical, or you take your disability and the medical's covered, but you lose your retirement.
Yeah, that's lame.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, that is bullshit.
Especially being the
I
fact
hear
that
what
you
you
only
guys are
spending,
saying, but
you
when I
only spending.
retired from GM, I was faced with the same thing. I could get, they were only paid 50% of my medical. I would lose my eye and I'd lose my hearing benefits, and I would lose my dental. I went through the same thing. I didn't have a choice. It's just the way it was.
Well, see, but the military was different though, because you getting your benefit because of what, you know what I mean, because of the shit that happened to you while you was out there. You know what I mean? That's an actual disability, you know what I mean, payment.
Compensation.
You know what I mean? Right. So whether you did 20 years or you did 6 months, if you know what I mean, you can go and file for this. And based on whatever your ranking is, then that's, you know what I mean, and that's the percentage that you get. You know what I mean? Everybody tries to get 100%, but it ain't no guarantee you're going to get 100%. You may get 20%. You may get 30%. You may get 60. You know what I mean? It really all depends based on what all's going on with you. And everything is based on certain criteria, like PTSD, you get this. Sleep apnea, you get this. You got a broke hip, you get this. You know what I mean? Everything goes down the line. So now, if I did 20 years in the military, and let's say I was a ranger, so my knees is banged up, I got PTSD, I got this. Okay, I got 100% disability. You know what I mean? My knees may be messed up to the point that I can't work, so I got 100% unemployable disability.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now you may have someone who may have did 4 years, and they can still get 100% unemployable disability. They can still get that. You know what I mean? So, you know, you while you're going through messing with one of the programs that you actually spend less money on. Now, for the full year, for VA benefits, as it's total VA benefits, everything dealing with the VA, medical, whatever, they spend 6.9 billion a year. Now, you just gave up 68.9 just for migrants this year. Well, 24. You gave up almost 70 billion. You worried about 6? You just gave away 70, which is almost equivalent to the aid that you give out to the 175 countries that you give out every year. It was less, it was like 4 billion less than what you give 175 countries. You know what I mean? My thing is that why would you fuck with the people that went out and defended this fucking country in the first place? Why would you fuck with their benefits? Why would you fuck with them? Out of all people, they should be the last ones that you should fuck with.
I agree. They should absolutely be the last people that get fucked with. At that point, they deserve it. You know, I think that every vet, as someone said in the chat, I think Dwayne said it. They all vets should be covered. 100%. I agree.
Exactly.
I think that's the United States duty back to them.
That should be automatic. That should be an automatic thing.
I agree with that.
You know, but it's not. You know what I mean? So now you got these people sitting back here now in an uproar. The ones that was at that meeting was at a full uproar. Now, can you imagine the first of the month come and veterans don't get their check? What do you think gonna happen? All hell gonna break loose. They don't get their money.
That'd go across the board. If a bunch of elderly didn't get their checks, or if SNAP benefits didn't get their money. But we're living in a time where any sort of disaster that takes the power grid down will make it where you don't get no money. So you got to keep an emergency fund on hand, as FEMA says, with 4 months worth of money in it, because anything can happen right now.
Right.
We go into
I get that part.
collapse.
Yeah, I get that part.
Financial collapse. The banks declare a bank holiday where they shut the doors like they've done in other countries. You won't have access to your money.
Yeah, I get that. I'm talking about the point, like if they brought this up to where you had to pick which one you was gonna do. Like, okay, I did 20 years in the military and I retired, which is my right to do. And I'm on disability because I got hurt doing them 20 years that I was in there. But now I got to pick which one I'm gonna keep. I mean, that ain't right. That's not right at all.
Oh, I have no contest for you on that.
You know, so like I said, there's a lot of programs that needs to be worked on. I'll be the first one to say that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because now also along with that is that if you going to the length that you streamlining these programs, I'm not saying canceling these programs, because if you cancel these programs, then you're gonna cause more harm than good by canceling them out. But you do need to streamline them. Yes, I do think you need to do that. But cancel them completely out, no, because you're gonna do more harm than good. You know, like they was talking about, you know, like the idea that they was talking about doing away with the IRS. Okay, yeah, I mean, like people like, oh hell yeah, that's a good idea. No, it's not. That's a horrible.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Fuck all three letter. Get them out of here.
It's a horrible idea. And I'm gonna tell you why. Why it's a horrible idea. Last year, 2024, U.S. government collected $6 trillion in taxes. They gave back in deductions $500 billion. So that still left them with 5.5 trillion, right? But you still sitting here borrowing money from other countries to pay the interest on your bills. So if you take that out,
we got lots of bills.
Like, okay, so we're gonna make all this money strictly off tariffs. You do that, your ass bankrupt. Everything else is gonna shoot up to the damn ceiling. You're gonna be paying 2-3 times more than what you ever thought about paying. You know what I mean? Because that money is still coming. You still gonna get the back end of that. You know what I mean? Like people keep thinking like, okay, well, we're gonna keep throwing these tariffs on these countries. Well, yeah, you are. But the end game is that your ass is still paying it. You know what I mean? They're gonna pay it on that end. The people who buy the product, they're gonna pay it, and then they're gonna raise the price, and then your ass gonna pay it. They can get their money back. You still paying it. You know what I mean? So it would be a horrible damn idea to just do away with taxes altogether. Because what are you gonna do then? Because you're gonna be sunk. You know what I mean? Like some people may think like, okay, well, you know, that'll keep people from getting all these little crazy ass checks, getting 12,000 on the fucking check and shit like that. Yeah, I get all that. But when you look at the brass tacks of it, you look at the numbers behind it and what that money is actually doing, how else are you going to do it? And think about it. If it was that easy that you could just do it that way, it had been done. If it could have just been done.
It was. That's how we financed our government almost up to World War II, was tariffs and sanctions that we would put on them. All these countries that we're putting tariffs on now, they've already got them on us, and they're restricting us from sending a certain portion of merchandise into their country, but they want full access to ours. If we didn't have to pay all this stuff that I read off on a list of things that we're paying right now, we wouldn't have to tax the American people. We would have plenty of money, but we don't. And like I said in the past, even in 2009, Warren Buffett said, let's just add the tax to the American taxpayer. And we keep paying higher and higher taxes. We're getting burned on both ends of the candle. High inflation on one end of the candle, higher taxes on the other. Anytime we need more money, let's raise taxes or let's raise the inflation rate. The American people are tired. I'm tired. I'm fed up. I've paid into the system my entire life. I'm fed up. I want a break.
Well, hell, I did too. Now, like I said, you talk about tariffs back during World War II, which is, you know what I mean, that's a huge price difference between time of World War II and now. Huge price difference. And being the fact that you 36 trillion in debt as of right now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's unbearable.
Back then you was what? A few million, maybe 100
that's
million.
True.
If that, you know what I mean? That's a big difference. Because you gotta.
But okay, let's go current. Right, we give millions of dollars to Pakistan now for economic aid. Now, Pakistan, if they can afford to buy nuclear missiles with nuclear warheads, why are we funding them? Why is the American taxpayer giving them money so they can afford to run their damn economy? And that's current. I just found that out this week, and that pissed me off when I heard that.
Good question. You know what I mean? And I mean, think about it. Why they giving money to 175 countries?
Countries, right, right. If we wasn't doing that, we wouldn't have to tax the taxpayer. The taxpayer is literally paying for the world to have a higher standard of living. And our standard of living is going down. We're struggling. Back when I was a teenager, if you gross $5,000, not net, gross, you had money to save. You had some luxuries you was able to provide for your family. Now, $5,000 don't go very far. You can spend that over the weekend if you ain't careful. I mean, how many times do I see my check going to the bank and then come Monday, I'm sitting there figuring, did I spend that much money? And I'm sitting there adding it all up, what I done spent. And I'm like, damn, man, my money ain't going no distance anymore because of this high inflation, these high ass taxes.
Right.
Cut me a break.
Absolutely. Right. And I
Cut
get that.
all this criminal shit, cut it all out, cut out this economic aid and stuff that's going on. Let's get back to America for Americans, and let's give Americans a damn break for a change.
Now that's a damn good idea. But do you think that that's actually what they're going to do?
No, I know it ain't what they're gonna do, but
No. I mean, now what you said is correct. And somebody else put on here too. Why don't we just stop giving all the aid, pay the bills, and then pick back up when everything's paid?
Right.
Good idea. Not gonna happen.
No, it's not. Realistically.
Because these other countries, whether we know it or not, it ain't that they need it, is that they expect it.
Mm-hmm.
And when
Damn right.
when you start taking it back, then
now we got issues.
Right.
We
So
got a deal. We got a deal.
Your friends is no longer your friends because you took your money back. You know what I mean? Which in one end you be like, shit, I don't give a fuck because obviously you wasn't my friend from the begin with. But that's more of a personal thing and not more of like a government thing. Because a lot of this
like government to government, right? I get what you're saying.
Because a lot of this shit is dealt on strategy. I'm gonna give you this, you're gonna give me this. You know what I mean? It's and that's how it's always been. You know what I mean? But even with that, and all that stuff still goes on the same way. They're gonna still give them that money, whether these programs get cut or they don't get cut. Who's gonna be the one that's gonna be carrying this shit on their back? You.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yep. True.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the point that I was trying to make. Like, we can sit here and talk about all this stuff. We can talk about the good, the bad, and ugly into everything that's going on. But at the end of the day, it's all gonna rise and fall on you, regardless. So, like we've been saying all this time about getting your stuff together, putting different things in order,
Right.
getting, putting your money over here, buying gold, buying silver, doing else. I mean, this is stuff that we've been putting out because, like I said, you're in a turbulent time right now. There is no guarantee that this dollar going to hold up. It ain't no guarantee. You know what I mean? And actually, some of them probably want the shit to burn anyway, so they can go to CBDC anyway, because that's what they wanted anyway. So that way they can control and monitor every fucking dime you made in the first place. That's the real thing. I mean, now that right there is a real thing that can really happen. You know what I mean? And it can happen at a blink of a damn eye. And what you don't know is that they've been preparing you for this for years. When we started doing the credit cards, the people not carrying cash, and all of a sudden you actually playing right along with it. You've been playing along with it for the longest. So if they actually, I mean, the only difference is that, they're not in your actual bank account, and they can say, well, okay, well, you can't spend this $20 at Walmart, or you can't buy, 3 steaks, you got to put 2 back. They ain't got that far yet. But, these credit card companies, they know exactly what you're buying. You know what I mean? The only difference is that it's just a little bit more to it to where they know everything and not just the little bits and pieces, you know what I mean? To where there's no money passed around anywhere and I can see every dime you did instead of just portions whenever you use the card or something like that. But they've been slowly training you to not use money, to not have paper money, not carry paper money all the time. They've been doing it for the past 10, 15 years now.
Mm-hmm. And I got to agree, Jason. Thank God cash still is king. It still is, baby. Absolutely. It always be. Hopefully.
Right. All right. So we done been here, what, $1.20? So we're going to.
Great conversation.
We're going to ease it down for the evening. But like I said, thank everybody for coming out like always. Like, follow, share, subscribe. Hit that like button. You know what I mean? That's what helps YouTube help us put the show in a proper algorithm to where we'll be able to broadcast and get the message sent to the people who probably never knew what this show was, give them an opportunity to be able to see it. Like I said, thank everyone for the super chats. We got Sin and Stephanie. Appreciate you both greatly. And also Warren, appreciate you as well. It's been a good show. Like I said, it's an eye opener to a few things, you know what I mean? And it's something that everybody needs to pay attention to, you know what I mean? And I think this is the reason why, like when we're on here and when we get passionate about the stuff that we talk about, because, you know, to each of us, it hits in a different way. You know what I mean? Aaron thinks about it more like, okay, they spend this money, they're gonna mess my Social Security, blah, 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 blah. I'm thinking about it more on the veteran side as to, you know what I mean? Like, I put my life on the line, you ain't taking shit from me. You see what I'm saying? So you got same things being said, two different mindsets though, with you know what I mean, with two different dimensions of things that went on throughout. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's what makes good conversation, to be able to have that back and forth, you know what I mean, and know that that what we're doing is getting the message out. You know, bottom line is getting the message out. So like I said, I appreciate everybody. Don't forget, go on www.thedominanteffect.com. Go on there and check it out. There's a lot of good stuff on there. They've been working real hard putting different stuff on there. If you go on there and actually become a VIP member, there's a bunch of new stuff that they done put on there. Man, they got jerseys. They got comforters. They got it's all kind of stuff that's on there, man.
Everything.
Right. So you go on the one, like I said, you see a lot of stuff on there. But if you're an actual VIP, which is like a $2.99, go on there as an actual VIP, you get to see everything else that you wouldn't normally see. There's a lot of good stuff that they got on there. And you can also go on there and watch the show, because every time, once this show ends, it goes straight to the website. So you can be able to watch it on there as well. And we're going to start doing the members only video chat, like how you do, Mike. We're going to start doing that here soon too. So it's going to be a lot of good stuff coming down the pike. That's
awesome.
Just stay tuned, and we're going to keep y'all posted. But other than that, I guess I'll see you guys in 7 days. Go ahead, Aaron.
Okay. Again, anything that can happen these days. I mean, we could be faced with an economic downturn, or bank holidays being declared, power grid going down, anything that can stop your money from coming in. You've got to have an emergency fund, 4 months of money, at least that, and keep it at your home, not in the bank, so you'll have access to it. Because the bottom line here is, if we don't learn from our past, we cannot be prepared for our future. And I'll stop there.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. Always appreciate every single one of you guys. We can't do this show without you. And listen, we'll see you guys in freaking 7 days. It goes by like this every time, you know, so it seems like it's just like, man, it's Wednesday again. Holy shit. with that being said, hopefully you all have a great rest of your evening, and stick around for, on my side, we're going to be rating our friend Chris down there, Chris Lestrange down there in South Africa. So stick around. He's down there in the lab making a whole bunch of moldings and stuff. He's an artist, but stick around for it. It's going to be fun. All right, guys, we'll see you guys in 7 days. And thank you both, you two on the panel, for your guys' depth on this topic. It's always awesome. So we'll see you guys here in a little bit.